The Cougars are coached by head coach Paul Tiny Kohler.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Stutler Bowl here in Greenwood Village, Colorado. Get a good look at the mountains covered in the snow that fell over Friday and Thursday night is mostly melted now, and we've got a great day for football. The Eaglecrest Raptors have their undefeated streak on the line today against a team from Niwot, Colorado. And the Raptors, as they get ready for the playoffs, don't want to lose a step, and they would like to take a strong performance into the state playoffs. Good afternoon again, everybody. I'm Matt Cook along with Eric Robinson for this amateur sports video production of your Eaglecrest Raptors taking on the team from Niwot. Don't know a lot about the team from Niwot. I know they've got great wrestling tradition up there, but not a whole lot about the football team. What I do know something about is your Eaglecrest Raptors, and they are on a roll, undefeated. They score points by the bunch with Damian Brown and Terrell Cameron, Bryce Hedrick pulling the trigger. The Raptor offense has been explosive so far this year, and they will get the first chance to work as Niwot will kick it off. Niwot bunches up and they call the formation. Then they split out. Niwot wearing the gray colored pants with the white jerseys, green helmets. And of course the Raptors, the home team, black pants, black jerseys, and black helmets. And we're about ready to get things underway here. Pretty decent crowd on hand for Eaglecrest. And this game's underway. High end over end kickoff. Down there to handle it is Terrell Cameron, number 42. He gets it out to the 15, out to the 20. The ball squirts loose. And the ball fallen on by Jason Sovereign, number 30. And where the fumble comes to rest right at the 25 is where the Raptors will take over. So Bryce Hedrick, the quarterback, the trigger man for this Raptor offense. And he's back, wants to pass on first down, swings it out there. That's Cameron. Cameron's got it out to the 40. Out to the 50, across midfield, tries to walk the tightrope. I think he stayed in bounds. 30, 20, tries to cut it back inside. And finally, out of bounds. And stay about the 14-yard line. But Terrell Cameron, great job walking the tightrope up the sideline there and staying in bounds. And the Raptors rip off a big one right off the bat. And they are deep in Niwot territory now. So the line of scrimmage all the way down to, well, and the Niwot team gets a penalty on it, so that's going to move it even deeper now. So the ball would have been out about the 13-yard line. Penalty will move it way inside the 10 now, I believe. The Raptors have it on Niwot's 8-yard line, and they are threatening to score with only 2 plays old in the game. Damian Brown swings it out across the 5, and he gets it in for the touchdown. And just like that, the Eaglecrest Raptors tally it 6-0 on their side of the scoreboard. And Damian Brown gets the quick pitch from Hedrick and just swings it out there, gets to the corner of the end zone. And he puts it right in there for the touchdown now. Jason Rogers will kick out of Bryce Hedrick's hold. And he's been pretty automatic this year. I can't imagine or remember him missing any, to be truthful. And he puts this one in. And the Raptors take a 7-0 lead right out of the gate. And that's how the Raptors do it to you. They've had some big plays this year. They also can sustain the drive and really grind it out, running it up the gut. So we'll get a chance now to take a look at the Niwot squad as they will settle back to receive Jason Rogers' kickoff, and he will kick it off from his 40. High kick, long, and it'll go into the end zone, and they will try and return it now. He's going to get it out to the 5, up to the 6, 7, 8, and crushed right away. Number 51, Kevin Widmer. Also number 21, Jamie Napke over there. So the Niwot squad will take over at the 11-yard line. And that's a tough position to be in. You are 89 yards from the other end where you want to be in the end zone. And this Raptor defense has given up some points this year. but they will play tough. It looks like they've got a pretty decent size advantage on this Niwot squad. Niwot squad looks a little bit on the smallish side. And Niwot will come up to the line of scrimmage. They will go with a robust backfield. 3 backs back there, 2 tight ends. And they hand it off to the middleman. And he gets out across to about the 15-yard line. And he is stopped there.
To number 41, Andy Runyon.
So Andy Runyon, number 41 for the Niwot Cougars, gets it out to the 15-yard line. And the Raptor defense waits now for Niwot. And they hand it off again, this time cutting into the middle out near the 20. And he gets popped and pushed back. And that is Bo Rogers, I believe, number 8, coming up from his safety position. And he puts the hit on him and knocks him back. He was across the 20. And he knocks him back to right at the 20-yard line. So 3rd and 1 now for Niwot. And the Cougars break the huddle. They send a wide to the bottom. Trey Miller will be the defensive back down on that end. High backfield behind. And they hand it up the middle. And he might have got ahead for that.
Number 41, Andy Runyon on the carry.
Bo Rogers right there along with Earl Corney, number 54. I'm sorry, Jasper Armstrong's number 54. But Bo Rogers right there in a hurry, but not able to stop him. So it's a Niwot first down now.
Ball's placed on the Cougar 23-yard line.
The line of scrimmage is the 23. And Niwot now hands it off again. And Runyon gets it out there.
Number 21, Brian Pruitt on the carry.
I'm sorry, that's Brian Pruitt. He's pulled down by number 68, Al Fracola. And he got it out to the 30-yard line.
Trey Miller and number 68, Chris Al Fracola.
So with the ball on the 30-yard line now, Niwot moving it pretty well, handing it off up the middle and then trying to break it outside. And they're doing a good job. Now they hand it up to the other man up the middle across the 36-yard line. And he gets tackled there by number 8 again, Bo Rogers. That's Kresge carrying the ball for.
Tackle made by number 28, Bo Rogers. Plays good for 3 yards.
So the Cougars will huddle up and see if they can't keep this drive going.
Ball placed on the Cougar 6-yard line.
They come up to the line of scrimmage right at the 36-yard line. And 3 backs in the backfield. They hand it off again up the middle. Still on his feet. He breaks it outside. Out pushing up towards across midfield to the 47. Number 79 for the Raptors, Garen Shelton down there. And he finally stops him.
Runyon's carry is good for 16
But
yards.
Runyon rips off 16 yards on his way down there.
Ball's placed on the Raptor 48-yard line.
So Niwot into Raptor territory now. And they're just doing it, running right up the middle basically. Runyon ripped off 16 yards on that last carry. And now they're going to look to pass. Then they hand it off. Nice play action there. And he doesn't go anywhere. Maybe got back to, say, the 48-yard line. Lance Gilleth over there.
Made by number 55, Lance Gillett.
And Gilleth on the tackle.
Assisted by number 79, Garen Shelton.
So Kevin Widmer, the defensive captain, calls out the signals. And then the Raptors break the defensive huddle. And Widmer and Gilleth are your linebackers. Trey Miller, Bo Rogers. And then they come up on the middle on the stop to about the 45. Courtney McHugh are your defensive backs. And then on the defensive line, Kerry Phillips, Al Fracola, number 54, Jasper Armstrong. are your down linemen.
3rd and 7.
So 3rd and 7 for Niwot now. The ball right at the Raptor 45-yard line. And they send a wide out to the top of the screen. 3 backs in the backfield. Hand it off up the middle again. Runyon going nowhere. Stacked up and buried. First man there, Trey Miller, gets the big support from Armstrong,
Tackle made by
Gillett,
number 3,
and Widmer.
assisted by number 8, Bo Rogers, and number 54, Jasper.
So Niwot will punt. Bo Rogers will go back deep, along with number 2, Quincy Mitchell.
Back to kick for the Cougars, number 20, Aaron Langley.
Aaron Langley, the Cougar punter, will wait on the 43-yard line. Gets it off. High, booming, spiraling punt. Carries deep, and it's going to go out of the back of the end zone for the touchback. So the Raptors get a penalty, and they would have had the ball at the 20.
Placed on the Raptor 5-yard line.
But now the ball will be on the 5-yard line. I'm assuming that was a personal foul injury penalty. Hedrick back to pass. Feels some pressure, throws it away, and out of bounds. Jason McQueen, the intended receiver over there. But Hedrick running for his life.
Joe Reed on the defense.
Pressured by Runyon and a couple other of the Niwot defenders. And Bryce Hedrick, an extremely mature quarterback at the high school level, has the foresight just to throw it away out of bounds where it's not a problem for anybody. So now 2nd down, and Hedrick will go under center again. Raptor backfield. And they hand it off to Damian Brown. Brown gets ahead to, say, the 10-yard line.
Number 10, Damian Brown.
Picks up 5 on 2nd down.
Brings the ball up to the Raptor 10-yard line.
And the Raptor backfield, of course, is that I formation with Jason Sovereign and Damian Brown as the I back, and then they put Terrell Cameron in the slot. And then Rosano or McQueen splits typically to one side, and then they go 2 tight ends. And then, of course, that ever-present and always solid Raptor offensive line. Hedrick under center again now. And he gets the snap, back-looking pass. He's got a man down there this time. Jason McQueen sticks with it and pulls the ball in. He gets it out to the 26-yard line. And Jason McQueen doing a nice job. Well defended. Just stuck with it and concentrated and able to haul that ball right in. So here come the Raptors now. They've got a new set of downs to work with. Ball at their 26-yard line. And Hedrick wants to pass again. This time he's going to get sacked. I think that was as much a coverage sack as anything. Hedrick looked to pass the ball downfield, couldn't find anybody, and by that time the Niwot defense was on him. So they will lose. Looks like the ball's at the 24, so about 2 yards on that play. McQueen will split out to the bottom of your screen. Hedrick under center, and he's looking pass again. This time it's a screen pass. Terrell Cameron's got it. Blockers ahead. 35-40 out to the near the 45-yard line. And a perfectly set up screen pass. They just bumped those Niwot defenders on the defensive line, let them come through, and then that Raptor offensive line set it up. And of course that Raptor offensive line anchored by
Plays good for 19 yards.
Bradshaw. And I was looking for his number. Seen him a couple times this year. I should know by now. And they bang it out to the 49-yard line. Owen Bradshaw, the center. And then you have Demetrius Serpes and Alex Cogden. And, of course, Mark Moon, the tight end on that Raptor offensive line.
2nd and 5.
2nd and 5. Bryce Hedrick pitches it back to Brown. Brown trying to cut it inside. Brown still on his feet. And he gets popped as he gets out near the 49-yard line.
50-yard line.
Niwot there in a hurry. So it will be 3rd down now, as Brown not able to pick up the 1st down. And that ball will be on the 49-yard line. So this Niwot squad so far not intimidated by the Raptors. And Hedrick runs play action inside. Now he wants to pass, sends it way downfield. He's got a man down there, and Rob Rosenow goes up top and hauls that ball in as he was falling on his back, able to keep the ball forward, and a flag came flying in. And I wonder if they're going to say if Rob Rosenow was pushing off on the defender. So we'll see what the call is. And that's what it is. They're saying Rosenow pushed off the Niwot defender. So that play coming back. And Hedrick doing a nice job. Eaglecrest runs that counter so well that then when they run play action on it, and Niwot, obviously a well-coached team, recognized the counter with Terrell Cameron coming around, and then Hedrick pulled it out, gave himself a couple extra seconds, and hurled that ball downfield. But it goes for naught as the Raptors will have to punt. Hedrick will stand on about his 22. He gets the punt off, not particularly long. He'll take a Raptor bounce down to the 25 where it's handled by a Niwot receiver. Flag comes in again, and Niwot advances it out to about the 34-yard line. The penalty came flying in, and it's against Niwot, so that'll move it back to the 20. Trey Miller, the tackler on that last play. And Niwot going right back to the running game up the middle, and Lance Gillett right on him and rode him down.
Play's good for 3 yards.
So they pick up 3. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7. Line of scrimmage will be the 23-yard line.
Jasper Armstrong.
And Lance Gillett and Jasper Armstrong in on that last tackle.
4-yard line. 2nd and 6.
So the Raptors give up 3 on 1st down. Niwot comes right back to the running game. Quarterback keeper still on his feet up to the 39, pushed ahead across the 40. That was his own man coming up and pushing him across the 40 that time.
11 yards.
So that's good for the Niwot 1st down out to the 41-yard line.
Brings up a Niwot 1st down. Ball's placed on the Niwot 40-yard line.
So Niwot not able to get into the end zone on that last offensive series, but they are moving the ball again here in the 1st quarter. And they've got it all the way out to the 41. And now they hand it back up the middle, pick up a couple, say to the 43-yard line.
Number 21, Brian Pruitt.
And that's Brian Pruitt carrying the ball.
Number 54, Jasper Armstrong.
Armstrong, the defender and the tackler for the Raptors.
Placed on the Niwot 43.
So the Raptors now looking for the pass as Niwot goes to an I formation, split top and bottom. They show the blitz, and then they bring it. Runyon able to run through it across the 45, still on his feet down to the 35-yard line. And Runyon pulled down by Napke and Armstrong. And the reason that play worked is because Widmer and Gillett were showing the blitz, and they came on it, and he just split the 2 blitzing linebackers. And with no linebackers there, he was already into the secondary before he got his first tackle on him, and then he was able to bang it all the way down to the Raptor 36. So after the 1 period here at the Stutler Bowl, the Raptors lead it 7-0. So as we start the 2nd half, the Eaglecrest cheerleaders try and get their guys fired up, but Niwot having some success running the ball in that 1st quarter, and they trail 7-0 to Eaglecrest. They are on the move, though. They've got the ball down to the Raptor 36-yard line. And then they go with high backfield, splits top and bottom, quarterback keeper. Ball comes loose. Niwot, it looks, fell on it. We'll see. And Niwot able to fall on it. I thought Bo Rogers had a play on it there for a minute. But the Niwot number
recovered by number 55, Patrick Hoover.
And Hoover for Niwot fell on that ball. So that was another long gainer on the fumble for Niwot as they get it down to the 23-yard line of the Raptors. And they're not doing anything really fancy with this ball. They're just running it right at him. And they hand it off again. This time he's going nowhere. Coming up, Bo Rogers. Rogers coming up from the safety position, and Bo Rogers tackles him back at the 25, so the Cougars will lose 2 on that one. And Bo Rogers been the big play guy for the Raptors all year long. And basically, this kid is a real athlete. Sees the entire field, and then he's got the speed to get there to make the play. This Raptor defense has taken some heat as they have given up an awful lot of points this year. But it seems like they always come through with the clutch play when the game's on the line. Niwot ready to go. They show pass this time. Send it up there towards the end zone. Man over there, and he can't pull it in. And that maybe was intercepted. We're waiting on the ruling. I haven't seen him show which way the ball's going, but Trey Miller clearly had that ball. And the flag on the play, yet to see a ruling. Of course, this is nothing unusual. The officials here for a lot of these games have taken, it seems like, weeks sometimes to make the call. And now they're going to talk about it with everybody. They're moving it back. I don't understand the signal here.
Is against the Raptors.
But it's against Eaglecrest. And maybe they're saying he pushed off on the defense. Miller did. So that moves it down to the Raptors' 16-yard line and takes away what I thought was a sure thing. Trey Miller picking that ball off.
Penalty takes the ball.
So Miller won't get the credit for the pick. And more importantly, the ball stays in Niwot's hands. And they've got it down to the 16, their deepest penetration of Raptor territory so far today. They run an end around, kind of reverse, well sought out.
Ball carried by number 21.
And that's Jasper Armstrong, number 54. Did a good job, stayed home, and he was in the position to make the play.
Loss of a yard on the play.
So the Cougars lose 1 yard on that play.
11, the 14.
And the ball will be at the 14-yard line now. And they come out in an I backfield. And when they've shown this today, they've thrown the ball quite a bit. Now they quick pitch it out to the tailback. Lead block by Runyon across to the 10. And Bo Rogers over there as well as Lance Gilleth, number 55, on the tackle.
Tackle made by number 21.
So quick pitch with the lead block by Runyon. And they get it down to the Raptor 11-yard line.
3rd and 9 from the 11.
So they've still got a long way to go, 9 yards on 3rd down. They've got to go all the way down to the Raptor 2. And the Raptors now showing blitz again. They don't bring it. Now they send pressure on the quarterback. They're going to get the sack. And that was Bo Rogers along with Jasper Armstrong. And Armstrong really grabbed him by the jersey, spun him around. He got away from it, but he wasn't able to stay on his feet.
Ball placed on the Raptor 25-yard.
So back at the 24-yard line of the Raptors will be where the ball is. And that'll bring up a 4th down and forever situation, about 23 yards, 22 yards, something like that. And we'll see if the Niwot Cougars, and they do, they're showing the field goal formation here. This will be about 41, 48 yards. So a pretty long kick. Plenty of foot, nice and high, but way off to the left. Plenty of foot, but not on the money. So Niwot not able to split the pipes, and they still have the goose egg on their side of the scoreboard, and the Raptors have 7 points. Hedrick under center now. He's got the ball at the 20-yard line, and they run the option, that counter play. Terrell Cameron carrying it out to the 25-yard line. 26-yard line, so 6-yard pickup. That'll bring up 2nd down and 4. And that's what the Raptors do so well. They get you thinking Damian Brown and Jason Sovereign coming right up the gut. And then they bring that counter play with Terrell Cameron coming around. And of course Cameron, maybe not quite as fast as Brown, but fast enough. And there you see it again. Even when they hand the ball off to the first man up the hole, they still go ahead and carry that counter fake out. So you never can discount it. Ron Peterson done a really good job coaching this Eaglecrest team this year, as they have done pretty much whatever they've wanted to do on offense, and including scoring points by the bucketful. Hedrick under center again, Raptor formation behind him. He wants to pass, got some pressure, he better hurry. And now he sends it out there, and that's Jason Sovereign across the 31, still on his feet, able to get it out to the 35. And Jason Sovereign does a nice job. Not a particularly well-thrown ball, but he's able to make the most out of it. Gets it out to the 37-yard line of the Raptors, and that'll be a 1st down. 1st down and 10 now, and the Raptor offense not missing a beat as they're clicking again. Quick pitch out to Brown. Brown trying to get to the corner. Brown will get ahead to the 40. And some of the fans calling for a flag on a late hit out of bounds on Damian Brown, but I really think the momentum just carried him out. So out to the 42 is where the ball comes to rest, and Damian Brown picked up 5 on that one. So 2nd down and 5 now. They show 2 wideouts, Rosano and McQueen. Rosano top, McQueen bottom. Hedrick under center. And a quick pitch out to Brown again. This time Brown cuts it in, and he will get out across to about the 46-yard line. So Brown picks up 4 on that carry and brings up about a 3rd and 1 situation. And you can kind of see some of the steam rising off this field. It was frozen last night, and now this bright sun has come out and melted it a little bit, and you get some of the steam rolling off it. Hedrick under center again. Now they hand it off to Terrell Cameron on the counter play. Cameron gets out to the 48-yard line where he's pulled down.
Cameron carries the ball for another Raptor 1st down.
And that's another Raptor 1st down. And as you know, the Raptors accumulate 1st downs in dozens. So the ball at the Raptor 49-yard line.
Number 43, Tim Go.
Hedrick back, looking pass. Got some pressure from the backside, sends it down there. Terrell Cameron still on his feet at the 40. Fights it out to the 39.
Plays good for 11 yards.
They give him credit to just shy of the 40.
Number 20, Aaron Langley.
And that offensive line is the reason the Raptors are so successful. And the other 2 offensive linemen I couldn't remember. Number 78, Matt Conti, and number 66, Chris Jerkschwitz. And Bryce Hedrick now ready to work again. The ball at the 40, and Hedrick back to pass. Again, pressure from the backside. Now he steps up. Now he won't avoid it, and he gets sacked. big number 65 for Niwot, chugging around from the outside and able to run him down finally. So that'll be a 5-yard loss for the Raptors. So the ball will now move back to the 45-yard line of Niwot. It'll be second down and a bunch. And Hedrick now, one wide, and he gets ready to work. Now they run the canter up the middle. Terrell Cameron gets one guy across to the 30, still on his feet at the 20. I don't think they're going to catch him, and he's going to get in for the score. And just like that, Terrell Cameron, I mentioned how well they run that counter, and there's a perfect example. Niwot, everybody followed the I-back and the fullback up the middle, and Terrell Cameron coming around from his slot position on the counter made one step and then a fine juke of a Niwot player, and he goes into the end zone. Jason Rogers now on to try and add the PAT, and he does. And it's a 14-0 ball game, Eaglecrest.
Eaglecrest Raptors 14, Niwot Cougars 0.
So Jason Rogers will kick the ball off again. His Eaglecrest Raptors own a 14-0 lead over the Niwot Cougars.
And number 32, Kurt.
End-over-end kick down there.
Ball's picked up by number 21, Brian Pruitt.
And Niwot gets a good return down to the 19. Jasper Armstrong down there on the coverage with number 22, Courtney McHugh. So Niwot comes out. Looking pass. Sends it down there, has a receiver, and out of his hands. And Bo Rogers sticks him anyway. Just for the pure pleasure of it, I think. Bo Rogers just loves to hit people.
Defending on the play, number 8, Bo Rogers.
And of course, next week will be a big game for the Raptors. They'll have Littleton. That'll be the season finale. Of course, his Raptor team headed to the Class 5A playoffs for the state of Colorado. And they are the only undefeated team in 5A. Number 1 ranked in the state. Quarterback keeper again up to the 22. But as head coach Ron Peterson will tell you, a poll is still just a poll, and it doesn't really mean anything until you settle it out on the gridiron. And he's been preaching that to his squad all year long, not to get ahead of themselves, to take these games one at a time and not look ahead to the playoffs and possibly a state championship. The first ever out at Eaglecrest if they can bring home the iron. But all that yet to come. Of course, Amateur Sports Video will be along with you for some of the playoff games, depending on how many of the parents are interested in that. Niwot back to pass, now sends a rainbow down there. Got a receiver in the area, he runs under it, nice catch down to the 33, 31-yard line. And a big catch. And the Niwot receiver down there limping a little bit. Might have turned that ankle under a little bit when he ran under that ball.
Brings up a Cougar first down.
And that was about everything the Niwot quarterback had as he threw that ball way downfield.
Tackles made by Jamie Knapp.
Of course, the AstroTurf here at the Stutler Bowl in pretty decent shape, a little bit wet, but doesn't appear either team's having a problem with footing.
Ball's handed off to number 41, Andy Runyon.
As Runyon able to get a couple more
Play was good for 1 yard.
for the Niwot
Tackle
Cougars.
made by number 8, Bo Rogers.
One credit, Bo Rogers in on the tackle. Of course, I'd like to know when Bo Rogers isn't in on a tackle. Here comes Niwot now. They've got the ball at the 29-yard line of the Raptors. They show an I backfield again. And quick pitch to the tailback. Runyon lead block, and tailback reads it, cuts it inside. Flag comes flying in. Bo Rogers and Al Fricola over there on the tackle.
Play was good for 5 yards, but we have a penalty marker on the field.
And the flag came flying in there. So it's against the Raptors again. And the ball moves down to the 14-yard line. Niwot was down here earlier, not able to get it in. And they hand it off again. This time they get it ahead to about the 11-yard line. The running back that time for Niwot really slipped at the line of scrimmage and just kind of stumbled forward to pick up, say, about a yard and a half or 2 yards. So the ball at the Raptor 13-yard line. And the Niwot Cougars are knocking on the door now.
Second 9 to 12.
They've got a long way to go, though. 9 yards. Ball is at the 12-yard line. And they hand it off up again the middle. Nothing doing this time. Raptors there in a hurry. And that was Trey Miller over there, as well as Kerry Phillips, number 33.
Bo Rogers on the tackle.
I'm sorry, number 33 is Greg Ketlip. Number 31 is Kerry Phillips.
Third and 8.
Adam Parker into the ball game on the defensive line, along with Mark McBiles for the Raptors. Niwot wants to pass. They got some pressure. Now they send it down. They're too long. But the quarterback just trying to get rid of that ball as he felt the pressure coming, and the pocket really collapsed right around him. So we will try another field goal. Niwot not able to convert last time. And Niwot may have drawn the Raptors off, but I don't know. That looks, I know some teams, Mullen comes to mind, do that on offense, bring up the offensive linemen with their hands on their knees and then have them reset right before the snap in an attempt to do just that. But that really looked like that was a blatant attempt to draw the Raptors off sides.
4th and 3 from the 8.
So the ball moves the 8-yard line now. And the Niwot Cougars elect to go for it. And now I think it's going, well, Eaglecrest jumped first, and then a Niwot player jumped. But a defensive player can jump as long as he resets, and well, they're going to call it against him. A defensive player can move around as long as he doesn't cross the neutral zone. And that appears what the Raptors did. So the ball all the way down inside the 5 to the 3-yard line on penalties by the Raptors. And this time they hand it off up to Runyon. Runyon still on his feet. He carries him in.
Handed off to number 41, Andy Runyon.
And it's going to be close. The official signaling second down. So the official signaling the ball just inches short as Andy Runyon carried it inside and bowled his way ahead. Everybody's stacked up on the line of scrimmage now. They hand it off to Runyon. This time Runyon's going to get in there. And Niwot gets onto the board for the first time today. Andy Runyon, the big guy, just bowls it in there. Kind of looks like a bowling ball, actually, with legs. But he does a good job there of running it in. And he puts it in the end zone. And the Raptors now have only a 14-6 lead with the Niwot PAT yet to come. Snap back, good down, plenty of leg, and it's straight now.
47 seconds remaining in the second period. Eaglecrest Raptors 14. Niwot Cougars 7.
So the Raptors will get it back. Not a lot of time to work with, only 47 seconds.
Number 42, Terrell Cameron.
And they will try to do something with it. As you get a look at the kickoff return team there, that is number 65, Aaron Wagner, one of the offensive linemen for the Raptors.
Aaron Langley to kick for the Cougars.
Brown and Cameron will wait deep for the kick. And they will get a kind of a line drive kick down to the 20 out of bounds. So the Raptors should take over on that ball at the 35-yard line. Bryce Hedrick now under center. High backfield behind. Terrell Cameron in the slot, wants to pass. Jason McQueen almost pulled that ball in. Ball low.
Hedrick's pass to number 80, Jason McQueen, is incomplete.
But actually a pretty well thrown ball, because Hedrick put it where only his player could make the play on the ball. He put it low enough and inside that if anybody caught it, it was going to be McQueen. There really wasn't a chance for it to get picked off. So Bryce Hedrick, the really mature quarterback for the Raptors. Then they have a miscommunication on the snap. But Hedrick is a pretty mature quarterback for a high schooler. He has really good play making decision skills. He knows when he's in trouble and when he can throw that ball away and when he can't. So the Raptors take a timeout to talk things over on third down as we wind down to the end of the first half. Hedrick back, screen pass. That's Damian Brown out there. Brown across to the 40, 45 before he's finally pulled down. And Damian Brown, Mr. Touchdown this year. And he picks up the first down for the Raptors.
Timeout, Eaglecrest.
And the Raptors want another TO to talk things over. So it'll be first down now. The ball is at the 47-yard line. Shotgun back to Bryce Hedrick. Hedrick runs. Now he's going to keep it. And he gets pulled down and up and put down at the 50-yard line.
Play was good for 3 yards.
And the Raptors showing a lot of things we haven't seen this year so far. Or not seen them a lot anyway. 2 wide outs, a shotgun formation.
Tackle was made by number 12, Barner.
So it'll be second down now, the ball right at midfield. And the Raptors will go back to the shotgun formation. Nice snap back there again, pressure by Hedrick. Hedrick's going to get tackled out of bounds at the 41. And you're kind of seeing why a lot of high school teams don't run a shotgun offense, because most high schoolers can't snap that ball back to the quarterback without looking at it a little bit. And then when your head's down looking back at the quarterback, when it snaps, you have a hard time making your blocks. And Niwot has really put the pressure on Hedricks here in the waning moments of the second half. And they've got him in a 3rd and 16 situation all the way back at the 41-yard line. So they run the counter play, fumble. Niwot fell on it, but that's the buzzer. And that'll do it for the first half. The Eaglecrest Raptors getting all they can handle from the Niwot Cougars. And it's 14-7 here at the Stutler Bowl at the half. So we're back here now for the start of the second half. And the Raptors will kick it off to the Cougars. Niwot handles the ball at the 6. He's to the wall. He's got blockers out there. And then he's also got a bunch of black shirts right in his face. Trey Miller right down there, as well as Bo Rogers. And if you can believe it, Bo Rogers, I didn't realize this, only a junior. So he will be back one more year to go. 5'11", 165 pounds. But he hits like he's about 7'9", 500 pounds. Niwot goes with a robust backfield again, handed up the middle. Good defensive play this time. Going nowhere, Jasper Armstrong coming from that side. Al Fercola there as well. And Widmer gets the call from the sidelines. as Niwot loses 2 yards on that. So the defensive line goes like this: Kerry Phillips, 31, number 79, Garen Shelton, and then of course Jasper Armstrong and Al Fracola. And pass across the middle, still on his feet at the 40, out to midfield, down to the 40, 35-30. Trey Miller trying to make a play, and he just trips him up at the 10-yard line. But Trey Miller still down on the ground, and he did all he could to get there and trip him up. Or he might have gone all the way, but Trey Miller may have taken a little shot to the head when he made that diving motion at the feet of the receiver, and he's still shaken up. But a big play off a little slant pass across the middle, and the Niwot receiver turns it into a huge gain all the way down to the Raptor 10-yard line. And Trey Miller shakes it off and stays in the game. Andy Runyon trying to run east and west when he should be trying to go north and south. And he loses a yard back to about the 11-yard line. Jamie Napke and Courtney McHugh over there as well. So it's 2nd down and 10 now from the 10-yard line. The Niwot Cougars on the move, and they only trail by a touchdown. So perhaps as much as Ron Peterson and his Eaglecrest coaching staff have preached about this team not looking past an opponent, they may be looking past Niwot a little bit, and they want to be careful about that. Niwot wants to pass, has a receiver down there, picked off Trey Miller at the 5-yard line. He just stepped in front of that ball and picked it off, and just like that, 2 big plays by Trey Miller. The diving tackle on the long reception, and then he picks it off and puts the ball back in the hands of the Raptor offense. Trey Miller gets congratulated there, and rightly so, as he makes the nice play, picks off the pass. So here come the Raptors now. Damian Brown on his feet to the 20, breaks it outside to the 30. He's still on his feet, 40, going down to the 50. I don't think anybody's going to get him. Down to the 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Damian Brown, 95 yards from scrimmage for the touchdown. And the Eaglecrest Raptors have a 27 lead. Damian Brown with an absolutely incredible run, 95 yards for the touchdown. And I tell you what, I thought I'd seen this young man do just about everything this year, but that is by far the longest run I've seen from him this year, and one of the prettiest too, because he got the ball, broke through the traffic at the line of scrimmage, and then just turned on the afterburners. And of course Jason Rogers adding the PAT, and the Raptors take a 21-7 lead here in the 3rd quarter. But what I was saying about Damian Brown, he just turned on the jets, and nobody's going to catch him. When he gets to the corner, he is gone. So Rogers now, after the 95-yard touchdown run by Damian Brown, will kick the ball off. And Niwot handles it across the 10 up to the 20, breaks it outside to the 22. Bo Rogers slows him up, and then number 21, Jamie Napke, finishes him off. So 1st down and 10 for the Cougars at the 23-yard line. Up the middle for a couple out to the 27, 28-yard line. Goes Runyon. He picks up about 5. 2nd down and 10 at the 39. Al Fracola in on the tackle. So the ball at the 29. 2nd down and 5. The Niwot Cougars would like to get something going here. And they go up the middle again. He's got the first down, and he runs over a Raptor defender as he gets it out to the 40-yard line. Bo Rogers was the defender. And you kind of see Bo say there was nothing else I could do like that. Just haul him down. So the ball out to the 39, really about the 39.5, almost to the 40-yard line. And Niwot, again, refusing to go away. But when you give up 95-yard touchdowns, you make it hard on yourself. Niwot wants to pass, pressure from the backside, sends it down there, another rainbow. And almost picked off again, this time Courtney McHugh, the man that almost picked it off. There's a marker on the play. It's further upfield, though. Courtney McHugh was looking for an offensive pass interference play call. He's not going to get it, but the penalty further upfield. And we'll try and get the signal. Well, it's holding it against the Raptors, apparently. So the ball now out to the 49-yard line, and Runyon gets the call as he bangs it out to the 47-yard line of the Raptors. About a 3-yard pickup. They give him credit to the 48-yard line. Jasper Armstrong and Kerry Phillips are the defenders on that last play. And Niwot into Raptor territory, able to only come up with 7 points so far, but they've been down here a couple times. And as I said, this Raptor defense just stiffens up when they have to. And it's going to get picked off again. That's Jamie Napke. Napke returns it all the way out to the 40-yard line. And you just can't do that. The Niwot quarterback keeps throwing up these rainbows. And when you have smart defensive backs like Trey Miller and Jamie Napke and Bo Rogers and Courtney McHugh, they're going to make the play on that ball, and they have. You see McHugh coming off to the congratulations of his teammates, and he gets a word with one of the coaching staff from Eaglecrest. And if you're Niwot, you definitely do not want to give the ball to the Raptors in this kind of position, because this is what happens to Terrell Cameron. And he's going to turn to a long run in. He's to the 20. Got an angle on him. And he stays in bounds, yes? And he does. He gives a little bow to the crowd there. And he stays in bounds. And puts the Raptors up 27-7. And Terrell Cameron on the counter play. All the way from the 44-yard line, I believe, 56 yards for the touchdown. And he's in on the PAT team, so he doesn't even get a chance to rest here. Scores the touchdown. He's still got to block somebody. As Jason Rogers keeps padding his stats. I'd like to see how many points Jason Rogers has scored this year, because he gets the PAT after every Raptor touchdown, and he's got a bunch, I will bet you. So the ball sets at the 40-yard line, and Jason Rogers will kick it off. And his Raptors have a 28-7 lead, and the route may very well be on. We'll see if Niwot can answer the bell, and they do. Nice return to the 35. And Niwot just, it seems like when you're ready to count them out, they answer, and they return the ball up to the 36-yard line and set themselves up in good position. And as we're in the middle of the third quarter here, if they could score, make it 14-28, still a lot of football yet to play. No, but penalties like this one are not going to help you. Ball all the way back to the 20, so a nice return to the 36, negated by a penalty. And they go up the middle again. Down 28-7. You might think they'd throw more, but they're going right up the middle. Travis Noble, the tackler on that play. So Travis Noble holds Niwot for no gain on first down, brings up a 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line. Niwot goes with I backfield, splits top and bottom, and they hand it up the middle to Runyon. Runyon bangs it out to the 25, picks up about 4 yards.
Play is good for 4 yards.
And that'll bring up 2nd down and 6.
26-yard line.
Lance Gillett, Jasper Armstrong, and Travis Noble all in the area on that tackle.
Tackled by a Raptor.
And the PA announcer informs us that he was tackled by a Raptor. Not exactly sure if he thought one of the Niwot players would tackle his own man or not. So they're going to pass. Now they set up the screen over there. He's got blockers, and he's across the 30, and he should have enough for the first down.
Plays good for 6 yards. Brings up at Niwot first down.
And Niwot doing a nice job setting up the screen over to the left. They let the Raptor defenders come in on the D-line a little bit, and that running back flares out, and they just dump it over the head of the onrushing Raptor defenders. And he's able to turn that into a nifty little gain out to the 33-yard line. So now the Raptors getting encouraged to stay home, and Runyon rumbles forward for another first down. Say to the 42, 43-yard line, and it'll be close. And he's going to be short. They give him credit to the 42. So he's about a yard short then.
2nd and 1 from the 42.
And it'll be 2nd down and 1 at the 42-yard line. And they go with 3 backs in the backfield. And they're going to hand it off to Runyon. Runyon picks it up plus some as he bangs it out to the 45-yard line. And that'll be a first down for the Niwot Cougars.
Tackle made by number 3, Trey Miller. Number 33, Greg Cutlip.
Greg Cutlip and Trey Miller, the defenders.
10 from the 45.
And it'll be first down and 10 now at the 45-yard line of Niwot. And Niwot refusing to go away. They trail it 28-7, but the mistakes have killed them. 2 interceptions plus a couple of trips down inside the Raptor 10 and no points. This time they get the completion across to the 40, 35, 30 into the, well, right inside the 30-yard line. And they've had some success running that little slant and throwing to their tight ends.
First and 10 from the Raptor 30.
And now it'll be first and 10 at the Raptor 30. So Niwot on the move again. Napke was the tackler over there. And this time they pitch it out to the tailback. Runyon lead blocking. And Lance, check that. That's number 50, Tyson Golding. And Tyson Golding comes up.
Tackle made by number 50, Tyson Golding.
And Golding makes a nice play there and just wrapped up. Tackled just like his coach teaches him. Wrap it up and driving right through the opponent. And he holds him. So Niwot now the ball back at the 31. And we may be looking at a double pass here. They send it down towards the end zone. Got a receiver, he hauls it in. Niwot touchdown. Oh, and Trey Miller. Trey Miller gets a cold bath over in the end of the end zone. Hit a patch of snow and slipped where some water had accumulated where the long jump pit is. And Trey Miller.
Touchdown, Cougars.
And it's a Niwot touchdown. They refused the penalty, or the penalty was shaken off. And
Plays good for 30 yards.
Trey Miller will be a little bit cold and wet along the sidelines. So it's a ball game again. Niwot on the board once again. 13-28 lead the Raptors, but the PAT yet to come, and that would make it a 14-point ball game. A good snap down, plenty of foot once again. And the PAT is good. And it's a 14-point ball game as Niwot 14 and Eaglecrest 28. If anybody can break a long return, though, it's these two guys. Damian Brown and Terrell Cameron, number 10 and 42 respectively. And Damian Brown has a 95-yard run from scrimmage for a touchdown. And Cameron has a 56-yard run from scrimmage for a touchdown in this game. And you never know what's going to happen with those two guys back there. Niwot kicking off to him, though. Not shying away from that speed. Cameron handles it. Now they run the reverse. Now Terrell Cameron keeps it up to the 30, 35, up to the 40. Still on his feet at the 45. And Terrell Cameron makes a great play there. Even faked out the camera guy. Eric Robinson went with the fake on the reverse on the kickoff return. And Terrell Cameron gets it out to the 45. And we'll talk about faking out the camera guy because it doesn't happen very often for Amateur Sports Video. He likes to bring you all the plays of your sons out on the gridiron. And this Bryce Hedrick, he's going to get sacked back at the 35-yard line. Really nowhere to go that time. But as I was saying, Amateur Sports Video has been with Eaglecrest quite a bit this year. Caught some of their big games. And as we get ready for the winter sports, wrestling, basketball, girls swimming, and girls basketball, we would love to come and cover some of those games for you. If there is any kind of interest by the parents, you can contact Eric Robinson, the executive producer of Amateur Sports Video. I'm Matt Cook along for the play-by-play of today's game. The Raptors on the move. They get the Cougars to jump offside, so that'll be a 5-yard on the penalty. Move it out to the 42-yard line. Of course, we have plenty of football yet to play. The Raptors most likely will be the #1 seed from the Continental Metro League into the state 5A playoffs. And of course, we'll have an idea in a couple of weeks how those pairings will break down. Hedrick still on his feet. Now he's going to get sacked again. And again, I think that was more a coverage sack than anything. Hedrick just didn't have any place to throw the ball to. And he makes the right decision again. Decides to just eat the ball rather than throw it away and throw it away and make a play for somebody else by throwing away stupidly. So Bryce Hedrick just eats it, and he gets sacked twice now on this drive. Something fairly unusual. Hedrick has not been sacked a lot. Now he wants to pass again, runs play action, rolling out, feels pressure again. This time he shoots it back. And that's Rob Rosenau out at the 50-yard line. And he'll pick up a couple. Oh, well, now they're saying he picked it up off the turf before he caught it clean. So that ball will be incomplete. And the Raptors will have to punt. So Bryce Hedrick huddles up his troops. And they're going to go for it here. No, they're not. They go back to their punt formation. I thought for a minute there they were going for it. Well, they are going for it. In the shotgun situation, oh, they're going to run quick kick. And Niwot handles it down to the 22. Get it out to the 36, 37-yard line. And I thought for a minute there Eaglecrest was going to go for it as Bryce Hedrick dropped back. Of course, they've shown us that shotgun formation at times during the season. But then I remember that Hedrick is the punter as well.
Colorado, Nebraska score. Nebraska 21, Colorado 10.
So the ball at the 37-yard line, first down and 10 for the Niwot Cougars. They come out, 2 wide stop, 1 wide to the bottom, I backfield. They're going to come out throwing, it looks like. And they do, send it way down there. There's a receiver down there. And a good play, Jamie Napke does a great job of just shielding Hernandez over along the sideline. And there was nowhere for him to make the play on the ball. The ball pretty much on target, but Napke did a great job of just shielding the receiver and using the sideline as an extra defender. And he didn't really have a place to go up after that ball. So incomplete now, 2nd down and 10 at the 37-yard line. And they run play action. Now they run the sprint draw, and it goes nowhere. It does not fool number 31, Kerry Phillips.
Ball carried by number 32, Kurt Resky.
And I
No
believe
gain on the play.
it was number 33, Greg
Tackle
Cutlip,
made by number 33,
there as well.
Greg Cutlip.
And it didn't, the sprint draw didn't fool those guys at all. So it will be 3rd down and 10 now for the Niwot Cougars. And they will go to their spread offense. Wides top and bottom and look for the pass. Across the middle, midfield, say to the 47-yard line. Bo Rogers on the tackle.
Hernandez's pass to number 82.
And
Frederick.
that will be good for the 1st down. So into the 4th quarter we go. Andy Runyon
Ball given to
carries the
number
ball.
41, Andy Runyon. No gain on the play.
And he goes nowhere. Got back to the original line of scrimmage, but no gain.
Lance Gillett.
Lance Gilleth there on the tackle. And Gilleth, a pretty imposing specimen, stands 6'2", 213 pounds. As a linebacker, that height, a real advantage. He's able to get those hands up and make some plays defensively. And they run the quarterback keeper, and the ball looked like it shot loose. I don't see a signal, so it must have been called down by contact. Travis Noble right there as well, Al Fricola.
Tackle made by number 54, Jasper Armstrong.
And Jasper Armstrong, the first Raptor there on the tackle. And so that ball did come loose, but the Cougars fell on it.
3rd and 8 from the Raptor 46.
So the ball is at Eaglecrest 46-yard line. The Cougars have 8 yards to go on 3rd down. And they are showing pass. Send it down there, and it's picked off again. This one, Lance, I checked that. That is Lance Gillett, number 55, and I was just making the comment. The big guy, 6'2", 213 pounds, and that height is an advantage. And it showed to be true right there as he was able to haul that ball in. So 3 interceptions for the Raptors today. Lance Gillett has one. Trey Miller had one, and Jamie Napke had one. So the Raptors right back on offense now. They lead at 28-14. Hedrick wants to go up on top. Screen pass over there. Damian Brown, he's in trouble, runs away from it. And he picks up a couple across to, say, the 43-yard line. The screen pass didn't fool the Cougars that time. But Damian Brown, even when he doesn't get a great play, and number 76, Demetrius Serpes, limps off the field, and that would be a big blow as he's kind of the anchor on that offensive line. So we hope Demetrius Serpes is all right. Demetrius' dad, one of the great guys on this Eaglecrest Booster Club. Really nice guy to talk to. Bryce Hedrick under center now. And he hands it off to Damian Brown. Brown gets a couple. Not too many, though, back out to, say, the 44-yard line. No gain on that play.
Tackle made by number 70, Ben Harris. Assisted by number 14.
So we're in the 4th quarter here at the Stutler Bowl. The Raptors leading it 28-14. They've had 3 interceptions today that they've picked off, not that they've thrown. And they are leading it now. Hedrick wants to pass again, feels some pressure, trying to run away from it. Then he throws it out there. That's Jason Sovereign. Sovereign gets it across midfield. And give Jason Sovereign all the credit in the world on that play. Saw that his QB was in trouble, broke off his route and came back to him and gave him a target to throw to. And then once he caught the ball, turned it into a pretty nice little gain.
First down, Raptors.
And that's the thing about this Raptors squad. A lot of these kids, the school obviously brand new, only been open 5 years. These kids have come up through the whole program together, and that really does a lot for the bonds on this team. They kind of know what each of them are going to do. They have a real good sense of what's going on in the field, and they really play well with each other. Damian Brown to the corner, across to the 40, 35, down to the 20. Damian Brown, touchdown again. And Damian Brown rips off another long one. Trying to think, it's about 46, 47 yards, something like that. I don't remember the line of scrimmage precisely. But Damian Brown with the 95-yarder plus that one, plus he's had a whole bunch of yards in between, is having a big day against this Niwot defense. And his team has a 20-point lead. And Jason Rogers would like to make it a 21-point lead. Kind of a high snap. Bryce Hedrick has to bail out of it. Quarterback's got a receiver down there, and he throws it short and in front of Jason Sovereign. And if he could have looked left, Terrell Cameron was wide open over there in the flat, but he really didn't have the time to. So once again, the Eaglecrest Raptors have a big crowd on hand. They've had some of the bigger crowds of any of the games I've seen this year. They really support this team extremely well. And a high kickoff all the way down to the 5-yard line. And the Cougars get it outside to the 20, 25 up to the 30. Still on his feet. That ball comes loose. And that's an Eaglecrest ball, I believe. Yes, it is. And we'll try and get you the number of the guy who recovered it. And I didn't catch the number, and I apologize, but a real heads-up play because the Raptor defender on the coverage was right there and made the heads-up play falling on the ball. So Bryce Hedrick right back onto the field now. The Raptors lead it 34-14, and they've got it in Cougar territory. And they hand it up off the middle. Jason Sovereign, and he doesn't get anything. Back to the original line of scrimmage. So second down and 10 now. As Jason Sovereign not able to pick up anything on first down. And the Raptors want a timeout. They lead it 34-14. So I see Demetrius Serpes coming off the field, and he looks to be suffering no ill effects. He hobbled off the field earlier and looks good. And you get a look at this Eaglecrest squad. They're a big squad, physically as well as in numbers. They go from number 2 to about number 95 on the roster. I'd say there's probably a good 45 or 50 kids on this varsity roster. And we've got a new quarterback. That's Rob Pinterick. And we have a new running back as well. That's number 34, Nathan Szymanski. And Szymanski does a great job carrying the ball. So Rob Pinterick, the quarterback, Nathan Szymanski, the new I-back, and number 32, Mike Whitaker, the new fullback. I see Mark Moon still in there. Number 84, Chris Vogelsong into the ball game. That's his first appearance on offense today. And number 28, Nathan Daly into the ball game as well for the Raptors, and he gets the carry. But Niwot jumped off sides. Let me try and get some of these offensive linemen new into the ball game. There's Chris Johnson, number 74. And that's Szymanski carrying the ball, Nathan Szymanski. Number 72, Eddie Vwater. And I believe number 70 is Ben Harris. It's his first time into the ball game. Number 64, Zach Wilcox. And number 82, Matt Salmons. into the ball game for the first time today as well. So Coach Ron Peterson getting some of his other guys some time into today's ball game. And that is number 32 carrying the ball, Mike Whitaker. Whitaker, a junior, 6 foot even, 165 pounds. Number 57 into the ball game as well. And I apologize, I don't have him on my extended roster. And I believe I've updated all the new players into the ball game on the Eaglecrest side for you. Miss number 74. No, I got Chris Johnson. He's in there. So Penterick now moving the ball well. Szymanski carrying it. Yeah, they run the counter the other way. That's number 34, Nathan Szymanski again.
Ball carried by number 34, Nathan Szymanski.
And he catches a couple of the Niwot defenders coming to that side. Number 9 into the ball game. That's Nate Beloit.
4th and 4.
So 4th down and 4 yards to go as the Eaglecrest second offensive unit gets some work here late in the ball game as the Raptors lead it 34-14. And Penterick wants to pass, rolling out, finds a receiver down there. Did he pull it in? Yes, he did. That's number 88. And again, number 88. Mio Daly, I believe it is. I'm trying to listen to the PA announcer as number 88 doesn't appear on the extended roster. But Mio Daly, I believe, was what I heard on the PA, but did a great job. He was well covered. Penterick threw to the back of the end zone, and he broke it off and came back and caught that ball, scooped it right up off the turf so it wouldn't go incomplete. So Jason Rogers will kick out of Rob Penterick's hold. Bryce Hedrick won't even come in to hold the PAT now, as Coach Peterson wants his starters to get a little rest and some of these other guys to get a chance. They practice hard all week too and deserve their shots come Saturday. So that'll put up the Raptors 41-14 against Niwot. So Rogers ready to kick off now. And here's another good story on the Raptors. This guy, and I can't remember him missing a PAT. I could be wrong, but I think he's pretty much been automatic this year. And a plenty strong foot as he sends that all the way down to the 5. Mishandled there. The Cougars kind of fumbling around with it. Now they get a good return out to the 25, still on his feet at the 30, fighting for yardage, 32, 33, 34-yard line. And Kresge for Niwot just doing a great job, struggling for all the yardage he can. And plenty of new faces in on defense. Let me get these for you. That's Bill Johnson, number 73. Number 40, Torrey Mann. Number 8, of course, Bo Rogers. Number 49 into the ball game. And that's Justin Nagel. Number 27 is Eli Ryder. Number 5, the D-back to this side, is Jeremy Conti. And they pick up a couple on that one. Number 45 for the Raptors, Adam Parker. Number 4, Chris Grappe.
Tackled by a Parliament of Raptors.
And the credit goes to a Parliament of Raptors, apparently, is the official call from the press box. Niwot passing now as a receiver over there. Kevin Widmer, number 51. Good job holding him up and then till he got some support. Number 75 over on the tackle. That's Ryan Grotbreath. And that's his first appearance into the ball game on the defensive line, I believe. So Coach Ron Peterson getting as many kids into the ball game as he can. And as I mentioned, that's nice payback because they work hard all week as well. Niwot back to pass again. Got a receiver across the middle. And he's tackled by number 4. Chris Gropey.
Brings up a Niwot first down.
And number 66 in on that tackle as well. Check that number 60. I didn't catch the number. 65 or 66. Number 36, Brent Godwin, making his first appearance in the ball game as well. Number 51, of course, Kevin Widmer. Niwot back to pass again. Feels pressure, sends it way down. There's got a receiver out of bounds. Jeremy Conti was the defender over in the area. And Niwot hands it off up the middle this time. Andy Runyon. And Runyon stopped by the Raptors.
Concessions has given a call to say that pizza is now half price. So if you're interested in half price pizza, please visit the concessions.
And I believe you are up to date then on all the new players into the ball game. I missed one, number 66, and it was 66, Quish Yurkashek. And nice play over there, number 4, Chris Gropey.
Lost 2 yards on the play. Tackle made by number 4, Chris Garapay.
And Gropey over there on the tackle does a great job going one-on-one with the Niwot running back, and he wins that one.
From the 39.
So the Raptors lead at 41-14. Some of the younger guys getting a chance into the ball game now, as Niwot has the ball at the 38-yard line, 39-yard line. They want to pass. He's got pressure, and he's going to get sacked. No, he runs away from it, still on his feet. Doing a great job across the 30, down to the 20, down inside the 10. He's going to get in for a touchdown. So Niwot, I thought for sure he was dead to rights back there, and he just run by a couple people and got it all the way down from the 39-yard line, all on his own for the touchdown, and that makes it 41-20 Eaglecrest late here in the fourth quarter. Snaps back, plenty of foot again, and it's good.
Point after is good.
So Niwot tallies again, but it may be too little, too late.
1:37 remaining in the fourth period.
As there's only a minute, 37 seconds left to go in this ball game, and the Raptors lead it by 20, 41-21.
Deep for the Raptors, number 80, Jason McCoy.
And we may see an onside kick here, and we do. Goes the 10 yards and then falling on immediately.
Onside kick.
And I didn't see the number of the Raptor. Here's the pile of the bodies. We'll get it for you. It appears number 72.
Ball's recovered by number 72, Eddie Bouter.
So Eddie Bouter, number 72, the guy who recovered it. There he is, the big guy. And Eddie is a 6 foot, 242-pound junior. So a lot has been made that most of this Eaglecrest starting offensive line is graduating, but with kids like Vodder, a solid 242 coming back next year. They might not miss too much. They run the counter up the middle. Szymanski gets the call. Penterick carrying the counter option as well. And Penterick, only a sophomore. He's got 2 more years coming back as the starting quarterback Bryce Hedrick, a senior, will graduate. So Penterick gets some time at the varsity controls, and he will be back in for 2 more years. And that is number 32 carrying the ball game, and number 32 is Mike Whitaker. And Whitaker gets the ball out to the 35-yard line. So third down for the Raptors now after Niwot takes the timeout. Penterick keeps it. Penterick gets a big gain. About 8-9 yards. And that will pick up the first down as Penteric got it all the way down to about the 38-yard line. And we wind down here to the end of this one at the Stutler Bowl. I don't know if Eaglecrest will have to run one more play or not. They're standing around like they won't have to. And that'll do it. The Eaglecrest Raptors stay unbeaten with one game to go in the regular season. They put the big hurt on Niwot, 41-21. Just remind everybody one more time, this is an amateur sports video production. Eric Robinson handling the camera duties here on a Saturday afternoon at the Stutler Bowl. I'm Matt Cook. We'll be back next week